Eating healthy is just not as difficult as people think. I think it's the education and preparation that makes or breaks your nutrition. All right, it's meal prep day, and I have my chicken and some ground turkey in the back there. I've got some leftover quinoa, and I just cooked up some rice. So we're gonna start with our carbs. The base here, we're gonna put 1 cup of quinoa in each one, and then I have some rice for the ones that we don't fill with quinoa. So I had exactly 3 cups of quinoa left, which is perfect, and then the other 3 I'm doing with the rice. I did add some turmeric to it. Turmeric's good for you, and it makes it a little more exciting. And then I've already got my chicken breast prepared here with some seasoning. This is the one that I'm using, Taste of Portugal from Culinaria. You can get them online. Quite nice, simple, easy to have, just throw it on there. And then I've got my ground turkey over here, which we're gonna cook up in a frying pan while we put the chicken in the air fryer. So we're gonna cook it at 375 for about 12 minutes, flipping it about halfway through. And I am going to, at the end, use a thermometer to make sure that it's cooked through. And then while that's cooking, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna start preparing our ground turkey breast. So we're gonna start frying up the turkey. Just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there. That's probably, actually out of this now, it's probably 1/4 of a teaspoon. Generally I would put a tiny bit more in there, but that should do. And then we're gonna drop all this turkey in there. So that'll be roughly 100 grams of cooked ground turkey for each one, which is about 20 grams of protein each. And because I like it so much, we're gonna use the same seasoning for the ground turkey, Taste of Portugal. So we're just gonna throw some on there now that it's partly cooked, and then we'll let it finish cooking. All right, now the turkey is done being cooked, so we're gonna take that off. We're gonna separate it into 4 portions for our containers. All right, now the next step is to add the healthier things that we want to add to it that are also going to make the meal a lot more filling with minimal calories. So I've mixed together some pinto beans and some black beans. Great source of really good fiber, some healthy carbs for you, and quite a bit of protein packed into these as well. And then we're gonna do my convenient little mixed frozen veggies there, just to get the additional healthy vegetable servings in, and then some edamame beans, again, healthy fiber, plant foods, and then also a good source of protein. So I'm gonna do like 2 batches at once because, speed things up. And I think that doing more than that is going to be too much for one pan. So each meal is going to have half a cup of the mixed beans. So we're going to put a whole cup in there. And then same for the mixed veggies and the edamame beans. And so let's get the edamame in there. There's the edamame. And then a little bit of olive oil around there, about a teaspoon. Don't need too much. Because those are calories as well. And then that's gonna mix in quite nice. Once you get it into the dish and you've mixed it all around, I like to cook it, even though I'm gonna be freezing these ones, I like to cook them anyways, because I feel like cooking them all together helps to blend the flavors. Plus when you cook it with the seasonings, it just makes it that much more delicious. So the seasonings that I am going with, it's quite a blend, but again, getting a bunch of variety sources of fiber. If you haven't heard how great fiber is for you, not only do you need enough fiber in your diet, which most of us don't, but you want a variety of fibers because that's going to really nourish the microbiome, which has such profound effects on our physical, but also our mental health. So if you can throw in some dried seasonings in there, dried spices and stuff to get that little extra boost for very little effort, I recommend it. So I'm gonna throw in a bunch of parsley, some thyme because I have it. Even though we all have very little time, you gotta make sure you get your thyme. And then some basil, and last but not least, a little bit of oregano. You don't wanna go too over the top because it can be very pungent, but I find that this little blend of seasonings turns out to be quite delicious for the mix of foods, especially once you mix it in with everything else. And there you go, that's 6 meals prepped with under 700 calories and over 50 grams of protein. Obviously, depending on if you're using rice, quinoa, brown rice, or what type of meat you're using and how much, it's gonna vary a little bit. Mine are going to be within about 40 calories, I believe. There's gonna be a little bit more, less calories in the rice and less protein in the rice. And then the chicken breast. I have slightly less chicken breast per dish than I do turkey per dish. So the turkey dishes are gonna have a little bit more calories and a little bit more protein. But these turn out, in my opinion, to be delicious and very filling. So give it a try and let me know what you think.